although Tupac's murder is looking like it's going to be tried in the next year or so, Biggie's murder is still kind of an enigma. I've interviewed a few people like Whack 100 who thinks that Poochie from Mob Piru was the shooter. He's now dead.
The shooter was paid to do that, right? He's dead, right? And it was
the guy who shot Biggie.
Yeah, he's
And
dead.
you're saying you know who that is?
Everybody know who that is, right? He's sitting there.
Is he still alive?
No, he's dead.
So can you say who it is?
He's dead. Named Poochie.
Who do you think killed Biggie?
I think Poochie was involved. I think Suge Knight orchestrated it through his, at the time, girlfriend / baby mama. I think she was the intermediary between Suge and at least one of the co-conspirators. I do believe Poochie was directly involved.
When you hear that name Poochie, does it sound familiar at all?
Yep.
Or yeah?
Yep. It's my answer.
When you hear the theory that Poochie was the shooter, what is your take on it?
Right on.
Other people like Greg Kading co-signed the story, but we don't really know. How do you feel that Big's murder is essentially unsolved 20-something years later?
You know, Big has kids, right? He just lost his mother, rest in peace, Miss Wallace. If something happened to me, God forbid, I would want my kids to know what the fuck happened to him.
Right.
So as a man, as a father, as someone who loves his family, you know, I just know that, you know, that's a hard pill to swallow, just to know that you don't know who did what.
Right.
To your family, you know?
Yeah, it's sad. Within 1 year, we lost the two biggest rappers in the world.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
And
that would be the equivalent today of like Drake and Kendrick dying within like 9 months of each other. That's the equivalent.
Well, you know, one thing for sure is that rap was essentially designed to help us out the hood. That was one of, you know, certain people play ball, then you got the neighborhood dope dealers, right? You got the 9-to-5ers, and then rap was a way out, right? When did it become, let's design it to where we utilize this to keep killing off the community, keep promoting violence?
Yeah.
It can't be done by the rappers. Tupac and Big didn't have that power to control the industry like that. You know what I'm saying? They had a team of individuals. We have to market and promote things that have love too. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got to be talking about killing and all that.
Okay, but let's just be fair about this, right? And I've talked about this before, and I feel that this is due to immaturity, but in this particular situation,
to a certain instance.
Well, let me just say this, because we're adults now. You know what I'm saying? Like we have to speak like adults.
No, we definitely speaking like adults.
So I just want to say this.
I mean, adults speaking is just like, you know, when you understand what you know, what power that speaking all that negative shit and promoting that shit, that's fucked up.
No, I feel you. But here's what I feel was sort of one of the big problems during this era was you had these two very successful, legitimate businessmen, Suge Knight and Puff Daddy. They surrounded themselves with a criminal element in terms of their security. You know, you had guys like Wolf around and so forth. And then on Suge Knight's side, he had a bunch of these Bloods around and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So you're bringing a criminal, violent element into situations where if you just had regular police security and so forth, I feel like a lot of this stuff could have been avoided on both sides. On both sides.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to say at this point.
Yeah.
You know, being that I grew up with a certain element of my guys too from the street. And all, listen, I'm just gonna say what I'm saying. And when I got on, guess what I did?
Kept him around.
Put them on.
Right.
Even, I'm going to go a step further. Even with my man, what he going through right now with his joint, I'm not about to turn my back on Puff.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is, as someone who uses, you've been around my security. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, at one point, yes, I had a bunch of street guys around, and I started to realize
You have
early
to
on,
graduate, so everybody
gonna
graduates
cause
at a
problems.
different-
Like, we had situations where I've had one of my guys almost beat up somebody I didn't like. You know what I mean? And that would have been a lawsuit. That would have been jail time. It would have been a whole lot. So at one point, I just started using off-duty cops
Understand.
as security because it just
Understand.
became safer. You know? And
Understand.
people also were more scared of the actual off-duty cops than some street guy who they might try to out-tough.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Understood. That's very smart of you,
Yeah, and I just feel like if both Suge and Diddy had just not used...
What was Gene Dill?
June Diddy was an off-duty
Okay.
cop, yeah. But look at Wolf. Rest in peace.
Look at Gene.
Yeah, I feel you.
But look at Gene, though.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at Reggie
White
White Jr., who was on the death row side, but there was also the criminal side. It was almost like there was a mix between cops and gangsters around both sides. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I think over time it caused problems.
You find that in the church. You'll find that in the political arena. You'll find that everywhere you go.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
Just is what it is.
Hey, man.
It is what it is.
You know, if we're speaking as adults, it is what it is.
I feel you, man. I feel you.